The height in feet of a ball thrown upward from a height of 10 feet is negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 10 after 2 seconds. Now, one of the things that's not in this problem, and I don't know why, but it has an initial velocity of 32 feet per second. So in other words, somebody who's actually, because there's a t unit, and we'll see this probably in a problem later on, is that somebody has basically put some oomph behind it when they threw the ball, and that's where the 32 comes from. This deals with acceleration due to gravity. So, and then notice it's 10. It starts from a height of 10 feet. So the units end up being t is in seconds, and h is in feet. So that if I look at the picture, it says we start at 10 feet. We got this person, takes and throws the ball up. There's ground level. So I can ask all kinds of questions. We're only asking one of them now. And at which point, this is the picture. Anytime you throw something up, it comes back down, it makes a parabola. I could ask you, what is the maximum height that the ball gets? That's 8.5. When does it hit the ground? That's 8.2 and 8.5. The question that they now ask is, how many seconds will it take the ball to reach a height of 20 feet? Now, this is why it's important to know your picture, because if this is 10 feet, so this is y equal 10, is 20 feet above 10 feet? Yeah. How many places, how many times does it hit 20 feet? Twice. Once going up and once coming down. There are 2 answers. So I want to know when negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 10 equals 20. Or negative 16t squared plus 32t minus 10 equals 0. I can do one of 2 things. I do not know whether or not it factors. The chances are very good. This is 8.2. And remember, 8.2 was all about the quadratic formula, so what are the chances that it's going to factor? Slim to none, right? I could just leave well enough alone and say, I'm just going to shove this thing into the quadratic formula as it stands and not care. The other thing you can do is you notice there is a common factor of 2. So if you wanted to, now I'm lazy. I wouldn't necessarily do this. If you wanted to, you could divide everybody by negative 2. One to take out the negative, and the other one to take out the common factor. This would give you 8t squared minus 16t plus 5 equals 0. Those would be easier numbers to deal with, wouldn't they? Yeah. So that would be easier to deal with. But I'm lazy, and I have a calculator. So I don't necessarily care that the numbers are ugly. I just have to remember the quadratic formula so that I know that t is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So that t is negative 32 plus or minus, I'm going to go after that stinking radical, and this is going to be over negative 32. Now, can I cancel the negative 32's out? No. Why? Because they're connected with the addition and subtraction. Would be nice. So now I'm going to take my handy-dandy little calculator, and I'm going to do, and clear it so you can see it, 32 squared minus 4 times a times c, 1664. So that t is minus 32 plus or minus square root of 1664. That's the hardest thing, is getting all the numbers. So it's 40.8, good enough. And that's a minus 32, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. So that t is minus 32 plus 48, or 40.8 over minus 32. Something's wrong. Why would I say something's wrong? What should be the case? If I got two answers, shouldn't they both be positive? Look at negative 32 plus 40.8 over negative 32. Negative 32 plus 40.8, what is it? It's a positive number, is it not?
Yeah.
Divided by a negative number is negative. This is going to work out fine.
Did you, is that 1664 is wrong, I think, it's 384.
Okay, 32 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times negative 10. See, I knew something was wrong. And the reason why I knew something was wrong was what? The picture. Was the picture. So she's right. And then what is the square root of 384?
19.6.
And that looks right, right? Well, I don't know if it looks right, but certainly I'm going to have the right signs. Because now I've got negative 32 plus 19.6 divided by negative 32. That's 0.4 seconds. And then negative 32 minus 19.6. Divide that by negative 32. and 1.6 seconds. So if I looked at my graph, remember this is 10, this is y value of 20. I have two of them, and they're two coordinate points. One is 1.6 comma 20, and one is 0.4 comma 20. So it hits twice. Once up, once coming down. The x value is the time, the y value is the height. Time, comma, height. Time, comma, height. Time, comma, height.